Hello, hello, people. Welcome back once again to Sunless Skies. So, since last we spoke, we have left the Blue Kingdom temporarily. We're back here in New Winchester. And we came back to advance our main story a little bit. So, if you remember, our ambition is to find out why the stars are dying. And last time, in the Great Library in the Blue Kingdom, we found out that a lot of stars are dying. And it seems to be uh, because of some kind of. It's not a natural death, in other words. But we don't know why, and we don't know the mechanism for this death. So that's what we're trying to figure out. That's what we learned in the Blue Kingdom, and now we are going to deposit the didact to the person who learned that. So as he disembarks, he hesitates. I'm afraid this is as far as I will follow this line of inquiry. There's war in the heavens and a slaughter of suns. And for everyone that falls, how many lesser beings suffer? The suns set themselves in positions of indispensability, and now they are disposing of one another. I am sorry, but I learned some time ago when to let a thing lie. I will, of course, help you find our missing staunch intelligencer. I will focus more directly on that, but my investigations into the affairs of the suns is at an end. Okay. Um, Oh, I can do this real quick. Search for Mr. Menagerie with Spatchcocker Meg, because Mr. Menagerie is in New Winchester. I'll just need 4 caged catches, which I believe I have in the bank. No, I don't. I have 1. Okay, so I'll save that. I need to make a trip to Eleutheria anyway, which is where you can get caged catches. So then, can I do any of these others? Okay, this will work rather well. Look at this. So we can do this one right now. Convey the Baroness and her bathysphere to Old Tom's Well. That's not too far. She oversees your crew as they wrangle the equipment aboard. Her usual flippancy has frayed, and she hurries forward to check every bump or scrape of the bathysphere. I feel like if this thing can't handle a few bumps or scrapes as it's getting loaded onto my ship, then it's not going to survive wherever she proposes to take it. She's taking it to Old Tom's Well. Is she going to lower it into the well? That's the only explanation I can think of. Okay. Well, I guess that's where we're going to take it then. Old Tom's Well is over here. Alright, I'll see you folks when we get there. And here comes the well. As comforting as ever. Let's descend. Approach the well. Alright, we're here. I think this is the only thing we have to do here. Descend into the well, the Baroness's bathysphere. It will take more than a day to prepare the equipment and anchor the winch and pulley. Your crew will remain behind to man it, while you and the Baroness descend into the well. The assembly is difficult. The well winds howl, dragging any unsecured tools or equipment over the edge. The cold bites, freezing fingers and faces. Picks and hammers break on the packed black ice. Eventually, the machinery is ready. The bathysphere poised at the well's edge. Below it is the roiling, thirsty depth. Blacker than oil, blacker than pitch, blacker than the space between the stars. Do you know, the Baroness says, in a low voice only you can hear, I'm not certain I can do this. Let's encourage her. When's she going to get another chance to explore the inside of a well? Quite right, she says with a weak smile. Let's get it over with, shall we? She clambers in, checking gauges and dials as you squeeze into the second seat. One of your officers closes the hatch, shutting you in. There's a sense of sudden vertigo as the sphere swings out over the well. Then, with a jerk, you begin to descend. The welt's tumult makes the bathysphere swing and spin. It's a rocky, nauseous descent. Soon the last light of the stars falters, and the windows are dark. But there's movement in that dark, like ink stirred into water. Do we turn on the lights or descend in darkness? Let's turn on the lights. The light is feeble, but enough to limn the closest side of the well. You see towers and palaces crunched together and cemented by the ice. You see the wrecks of shattered locomotives. You see the bones of creatures caught in the well's pull, the flesh stripped from them by flaying winds. Best turn them off again, the Baroness says after a time. We may need to save the gas. According to the bathysphere's clocks, you descend for more than a day. Jesus. Then the winds begin to ease. The sphere stops spinning and swaying. There's an eerie calm, then a sudden, grinding collision. Then silence. I think we've hit the bottom, the Baroness says. Her voice is bleak. Climb out. Unfastening your straps, you unlock the hatch and climb out. The Baroness hands you a lamp and follows. In the grave of a god. The ground is a compact frozen scree of stellar detritus. Footing is perilous. You can hear the moan of the well winds far overhead, but the air here is still as stagnant water. Motes of dust hang, unfalling, in it. You make your careful way from the well wall and down the slope. Wait, the Baroness says suddenly, and raises her lamp. The light gleams on something gold and gargantuan overhead. You stand amidst the gold bones of a sun. They vault and arch like a murdered cathedral, ribs as big as bridges, a curve of a skull vast enough to dome all of London. You scramble like ants beneath them, discovering that their lengths are twisted and splintered, mangled by some impossible force. There's pressure in your ears, as if unheard thunder was resounding around you. So, are the suns not, like, giant orbs? Like they are in real life? They're actually, like, more conventional beings? Like, it says this thing has bones. They're golden, yes, but still, it's got ribs and a skull. So this is some kind of humanoid figure. Very interesting. Okay. Let's strive to hear the death cry of a fallen sun. You leave the Baroness to collect the sample you need and make your way under the skull dome, where the pressure is most intense. The pressure tightens. You hear distant thundering words, accompanied by blazing visions. They rage against the sun's death at the hands of a half-sun, a midnight murderer. The killer sent false messengers bearing a well seed. They planted the seed in the sun's heart, and it bloomed, bloomed and ravened, a lawless killing, a shameful death enacted without due ceremony. Your mind abandons its grip on consciousness, as oaths of futile vengeance thunder through your dreams. When you awake, you're strapped into the bathysphere as it completes its final violent ascent from the well. The winds are roused, roaring at the sphere in a frenzy. Nearly there, the Baroness yells, and soon the sphere is deposited, smashed beyond further use onto the edge of Old Tom's Well. Success! And in comparison to that, getting your sample back to the Baroness's laboratory in New Winchester should be easy. Cool. So what did she find? So we found the fricking bones of a dead sun, and I personally, oh hey dude, found out how it died. Right? Would you die? Very interesting. Okay, so now we go back to New Winchester, I guess, to have her analyze the fragment she got. So what could she possibly tell us? Like, she could tell us that... I feel like we learned everything we needed to learn there. The sun didn't die a natural death. It had a well seed planted in it. Well seed obviously grows a well. I don't really know, like, the nature of a well. It seems like some kind of... I don't know. I'm hesitating to apply, like, real life lore, logic, or physics to this situation because it's so... what's the word I'm looking for? It's so, fantastical, you know? But is the well seed like a mini black hole type thing? I don't know. Just curious. Anyway, guess we'll find out if she learned anything additional to what I did. And I'll see you guys back in New Winchester. Here we are, pulling into New Winchester. And let's see what she's got to say. Perform a solar autopsy. I see. The Baroness maintains a well-stocked laboratory in her cellar. You convene there to conclude your research. Oh, shit. Before I do anything, I'm going to investigate a mysterious noise from the back of the laboratory. It's coming from a heavy glass jar on a workbench. The jar rattles as something iridescent whirls inside. That's a sample of the peacock wind, the Baroness says, frowning. What's got it agitated? Shall we find out? You open the jar. The wind tears from it and across the lab to the slab of gold bone, where it rages in a brief localized hurricane that scatters equipment across the cellar. Then, with an anguished wail, it disperses. The Baroness climbs to her feet. I wonder, do suns have souls? Do they leave ghosts? There are a great many winds in the heavens, aren't there? Yeah, and the peacock wind, if you look at it on a map, it always happens here in this corridor and coming away from the well. Is the peacock wind like, this dead sun in the well crying, or yeah, it's spirit fluttering about? And then there was another wind in Eleutheria, the candle wind. Well, that happens in Eleutheria and in Albion, that candle wind. And here in Eleutheria, it happens like here, which is kind of close to the Well of Wonders. Is there a sun in the Well of Wonders? I don't think so. But like, here's the halved. You could make an argument that the candle wind is coming from the direction of the halved. But then, what about in Albion? Where does the candle wind happen here? I forget. Might be like down here near Perdurance. I don't quite remember. Maybe it comes from the well of the what's it called? The Howling Well? Well of the Wolf? I don't know. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway. Okay. Investigate what killed the son of the Reach. The Baroness investigates. It was killed by a titanic mangling force. Even the grain of its bone fibers are distorted. You deploy implements, acids, and the industrial vice she keeps in her laboratory to see if you can duplicate the effect, but find nothing able to generate the necessary pressure. Whatever did this to the sun, it was beyond the reach of mortals. Okay, what killed the son of Albion? Examining it through a microscope, it's immediately apparent that the son of Albion wasn't killed by munitions, but by poison. It has worked its way into every golden cell. The poison itself you cannot isolate or extract. It's as insubstantial as a thought. You examine it more closely. The patterns of its spread are regular, like the strokes of a pen. You point this out to the Baroness. Fascinating. If only we had more. The lines look like fragments of correspondence sigils, don't they? Can words be poison, I wonder? I bet solar words can. They can take physical form, so yeah. So this is suns killing each other. This is helicide. What have you learned? The Baroness ticks off points on her fingers. Firstly, the suns are not merely dying, they're being killed. Secondly, that the methods of their deaths are beyond the means of lesser beings. That in turn suggests that the things responsible are suns themselves, or entities of a comparable magnitude. She frowns. I must say, this is rather grander than I had anticipated. I see why it consumed our mutual friend. But I think that's all we can achieve for now. I'll continue to research this, but anything more will take time. I'd recommend you turn to another line of investigation for now, Intendant. You have learned something you should not. Okay. Next, we're going to Pan to convey the masked citizen. The citizen packs extensively before boarding your engine. No fewer than 4 trunks need to be carried aboard. All vital, I assure you. One of them's coffee. If I have to drink tea for a month, I'll go mad. Anyway, when we arrive at Pan, we should speak to the Cypress King, whoever it may be that week. Before they board, the citizen touches your arm. Let me ask you a frank question. Do you think our mutual friend is still alive? To my surprise, I've become entirely fond of her. This is the old friend that set us on this journey in the first place that I'm trying to track down. I don't know, but I hope our investigation will find out. So be it, the citizen says. Then let's get to work. They board your engine, calling to Pan at the nearest engineer. Oh, this is the masked citizen. Cool. The engineer, who possesses a clear understanding of the chain of command, looks to you. You nod. To Pan. Okay. Let's do it. To Pan indeed. I think we're gonna go to Pan through Albion because there's something we need to do at the mausoleum. So we're going there next. Okay, here we are in Albion. We're coming up on the ministries. One of the things I needed to do here was get a new assignment from the Royal Horological Society. Just kidding, I'm going to do this first. There's a weft here, and I'm going to throw Altan's body into it. The weft of unraveling time. Allow yourself to be pulled in. Barry, the navigator's friend. You must be quick. Slide the body out of the exterior hatch into the snarling collisions of time. This will transform the fortunate navigator into the stalwart navigator. Cool. The navigator insists on doing the deed himself. Altan's body hangs for a moment just outside the hatch. Then his left shoulder is caught by flailing time, and the corpse is drawn away from the engine. The navigator watches his friend be snatched away. Wherever he is not now. He turns to you. Thank you, Captain. Now let's find our way out of this tumult. His promise is discharged. He is changed. The navigator gave his friend a sky burial in a weft of unraveling time. He has grown and changed. He is now the stalwart navigator. Cool. And then I need to still figure out a way to get out of here. Oh my god. Getting out of there lost me a lot of hull. But I also gained 3 carefully packed crates of munitions and 3 uncanny specimens. That pretty much evens out. I'm pretty sure crates of munitions sell for, I don't know, 50 or 60. Plus I get the uncanny specimens, so it's actually like a good price for that. Okay. So our navigator dude is now the stalwart navigator. Very nice, very nice. What, you got anything else to say? Let's converse with him. Expanded Horizons. You should borrow a book sometime. He's currently reading The Three Musketeers. It helps me focus, to think on something other than the wilderness for a while. I was kind of expecting a little bit more in terms of exposition when we finished that quest, just because it was such a long and involved one. But, alright. Alright, Royal Horological Office. Nice, dude. A special assignment. Guess we're going to Lustrum. The Mother of Mountains is the primary source of London's hours, but the rush to mine it is frenzied and unruly. The Windward Company has reported a notable uptick in adulterated hours of late. Unscrupulous prospectors mingle them with geodes of chalcedony or quartz. I would normally send an inspector, but I'm sure you can handle it. Prove me right, novitiate first class. Alright. Alright, I can do that. First, I need to limp my broken-ass engine into port and repair it. And then the other thing we were doing here was completing a story flowers story. Remember I got one of those in the Blue Kingdom? I'm going to the mausoleum to finish that. Okay. Let's explore London. Never mind. Let's go to the yards and repair my locomotive. Ah, much better. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, let's go do that. Bronzewood for Parliament. No, I'm not going back that way. Oh well. What have I got in the bank? Nothing of note. I think, yeah, what was I gonna say? The creating a new friend, or was it the Forged Companion? I need either Ministry-approved literature or a hogshead of Starshine. So the literature, I've got some in the bank, and Starshine, I think I get in Eleutheria. I'm gonna check real quick to see if that produces different results. Okay, I've checked it, and the consensus is that I don't care that much. So we'll grab some tea and call it a day. What else did we need? We need to sell some stuff, like this nostalgic crockery and these munitions. Buy some more fuel. Actually, we don't really. And then we're going to the mausoleum. Okay, so next stop, mausoleum. Actually, first, because I'm a greedy son of a bitch, I want to test out that theory of mine that there's no customs at this new relay we set up. So let's see if that's true. I'm going to see if there are any smuggling prospects available that go straight to Eleutheria, because I can now go straight to Eleutheria. There must be, right? Is there anything I can do here? Right, no. Bazaar, okay. What? What is this? 7 trunks of illicit literature to be delivered at Atlas or Lustrum. Okay, so yeah, we can do the Atlas one. Okay, so that cost me 1050. Let's remember that. What do these things do? Plus 8 hold. Okay, that cost me 1050. Alright, now we're going to the mausoleum. Here we are, at the most serene mausoleum, and we're going to finish an unfinished story for the gardener archivist. You read the petals of the unflower. It blackens and wilts in your hands. It becomes apparent what you must do to bring the story to an end. You burst into the funeral, to a chorus of shocked gasps and swoonings. You tear open the lid of the coffin. "This is not the real Sam Willard," you exclaim. "This is his identical twin! Please come here and examine the birthmark." Pandemonium naturally ensues. Your part is played. Now the story can end. You slip out the back door. That's really cool. I like that. Okay, so that was really simple. Kind of fetch questy. But kind of cool. Oh, shoot. Whoops. Okay, is there anything else I can do here? I'd like to reduce my terror just a little bit. Can I, deliver uncanny specimens to get access to the upper gallery? Oh yeah, that reduces a lot of terror. Very nice. Okay. And then, is there anything I can buy here? I don't care. Oh, didn't I have to deliver glass to somebody? Glass to Warlbury, and I'm going past there anyway. So yeah, I'll buy 5 of those. Alright, so we're going past Warlbury. I can't say that, dude. Warlbury. Warlbury. Feels like I have marbles in my mouth. We're going past Warlbury to deliver some glass, and then through the transit relay, which hopefully will not involve a customs search. I'm gonna be a little fucked if it does. Not gonna lie. Guess we'll find out. What is this? Right, I get a sky story. I don't have enough of those. I've only got like 200. No, it's actually like 130 or something. I need to figure out where I can donate those. I could definitely convert those into some golden experience. There's probably some broker somewhere who does that. I don't know if it's the one in London. There's one in the Royal Society. There are some other places as well. It's probably it's probably in the Reach, because I think so each zone, each whatever you want to call these, sphere of heaven, has uh, its own associated resources, both tangible and intangible, right? So like the tangible resources for Albion are like Caddies of Dried Tea, Ministry Stamped Literature, Panes of Glass. And there's a little bit of overlap, but actually, is there? I'm not sure if there is. But their intangible resources are like that as well. So I think, long story short, I think Sky Stories, or no, or is it having to do with the? Don't run into me. Or does it have to do with affiliations? Let's find out. It does. Look, so Academe. Yeah, we've got otherworldly artifacts, uncanny specimens, condemned experiments, and searing enigma. And I think these are ordered in order of like rarity. And then so Bohemia is visions of the heavens. Sky stories, moments of inspiration, and I would assume something else, right? I think there are 4 in each category. Establishment is ministry stamped permit, salons dude gossip, cryptic benefactor. Yeah, and then villainy, tales of terror, savage secrets, unlicensed charts, and crimson promises. There must be. There are 4 in every other, or well, there are 4 in villainy and 4 in academe. I would expect there to be 4 in each, but I don't know what would go here and here. I don't know. Interesting. But anyway, I still think that like there are certain regions where those are more easily acquired, and those regions I would expect to be where you can trade them for other things. So like, did you notice that it said you could get sky stories in signal boxes? Where are signal boxes? Oh right, in the Reach. Yes, hello Giant Eye, hello. Good day, sir. Whoops, let's slow down a little bit here, you guys. Might be a good idea to slow down. Back up! There we go. Produce a little terror. And sell some glass. I don't care about that. Well, yes I do. I've got the room for it. Didn't I need ministry approved literature for something? Let me grab one just in case I did. Okay, and now we're off to the transit relay. Now, when I signed the paperwork to make the transit relay operational and official, it said that there would not be a customs office, but there would be monitors, like ships, patrolling the area that would serve as customs. So I don't know if I physically need to avoid those ships, but that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to be real salty if it just does have a customs office like everywhere else. What the fuck did I just get? What did I just pick up? I picked up a question mark. Huh? What was that? I don't even know. Fuck. Okay. Mr. Eyeball, not again. Oh no, it's because I was close to that thing. The lighthouse. Alright, here we are. Let's see if there's customs. I'm gonna be real salty. There is. Submit to a customs check, huh? That's... I'm gonna blame the game for that one for just being straight up misleading. Now I do have a like 50-50 chance to just do it. To just succeed. And I'm gonna game it. I'm gonna save here. And then try it and load the save. Because it said that there would be no customs here. So, screw you, game. I'm going home. Hey, success. You see nothing. I'm getting away with it. Travel to Eleutheria first class for free. It would be a damn liberty if you were expected to pay after the amount you sank into building this thing. Damn straight! Hell yeah. Let's do it! And if I remember correctly, this brings us out pretty close to the House of Rods and Chains. Which, if I had more space in my hold, would be a good thing. Oh well. Oh, jeez. Unidentifiable... Oh. An unidentifiable squirming? Is that what I... That's what I picked up just a little while ago. Okay. Once you've scooped it up, it'll keep trying to escape. Take it to Worldbury to cage it properly. Soothe it. Let's soothe it. Okay. That worked. Very cool. Very cool. Now where are we? Yep, pretty close to here. So I think I need to go to... Ashless wanted the illicit literature. I really want to stop by the House of Rods and Chains, but I just don't have the cargo space, so I guess I'll hit Atlas and Pan. It doesn't really matter which order I do it in to drop off some of those things. Outbreak of the heart sickness. Break out the brandy, string the fiddles. No more terror. I'm not sure if you guys necessarily need to or want to watch me just making the trip to Atlas. These guys are trying to read my smut. My smut! You can't have it! Alright, so y'all drop off in Atlas, and then I'll see you when we get to Pan. After I fuck up this guy, that is... One shot. I forget, what do? You have the green shots that are like somewhat short range. Oh right, and you're like impossible to hit! Oh, you missed, you dumb bitch. Yeah, that's right. Let's plunder it. For terror and secrets and mysteries and oh my. Alright, see you when we get to Pan. Here we are at Pan. It's the hour of veracity in Pan. I'm gonna take my escort and go about my business. Screw you guys. Alright. Need to, do I have any rubbery people with me? No. Need to hire on some more crew. Nice. And let's talk to the Cypress King. What else can I do here? I forget. I can get Searing Enigmas, right? Okay, Consult the king about the courtesy. The masked citizen has accompanied you. You hope the king can tell you something about the phrase that recurred in your friend's singed notes. The king expects tribute first. Something appropriate. 7 savage secrets. A crimson promise, steeped in old starlight. A moment of inspiration, pried from the skull of a... The masked citizen interrupts. That sounds like a lot of work, and we're already here. Will one of these do instead? That's awesome. They draw a luminous bottle from their bag. Inside, a knotted soul stirs, the inconstant color of a blue bottle's back. It opens 7 slitted eyes lazily. Goodness, the king says. Yes, please. The eerie soul changes hands. The king will speak, but, in accordance with Pan's restrictions on storytelling, only to one of you. Alright, I'll let my masked citizen hear it, since they paid the price. Afterwards, the citizen relays what they learned. The king says there is an order to creation, suns at the top, us near the bottom, and other beings, flukes and messengers and so forth, between. Some secrets like the courtesy are dangerous even to speak of if you're in the lower echelons. The king suggests we ask something higher up. Each of the 3 principal factions in Pan reveres such a being. I have a plan. They lead you away from the king's grove. Let's discuss our next steps. The masked citizen sits on a tumbled column. Pan is home to many sects and factions. 3 are preeminent: the Brazen Brigade, the Heartcatchers, and Winters Reside. Join one, win their trust, advance in their ranks, and then coax an answer about the courtesy from their patron. I'm going to look into something else. The king has given me an idea. If you want to speak to me, leave me a message in this grove. I'll check it regularly. I think I was going to do the Rose one, right? Why can't you join one of the factions? Because I already have the Neo-Nocturnals who rule the Forum here, a less important sect, and of no help in our current situation, but one apt to my proclivities. My loyalties are already declared. In other words, yours are up for negotiation. Pick a faction that suits your temperament. Don't worry, I'll find a way to make myself useful. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Alright. So, there's my unidentifiable squirming. I can put it in the bank though. Lol. Okay. So I want to get some more caged catches, right? Because I don't have a lot in the bank and I'm going to need them later. What else do I want to do? Well, I need to... Let's see what these factions need to advance in their quest lines. I'm going to do the one with the rose, because that was the creepiest one, the Heartcatcher Gardens. I forget what I need to do here next. I also want to go down to the wreck of the Behringer. Remember, we could... we had an option to mount an expedition behind the glass to see what was going on there, or to lure something out from behind the glass. I really want to do that. But let's see what we need to do here first to ingratiate ourselves with this faction. I forget where I need to go. Ooh, I can get otherworldly artifact here. Prove my value to the Heartcatchers. Yeah, let's do it. What the fuck? You've been cursed with a foretelling of your likely death, but if you're prepared to pay the Heartcatcher's price, they will catch this death in a jar for safekeeping. This will remove the bell tolls facet and replace it with a unique one, a jar with your death in it. This increases mirrors and either hearts or veils, and your bohemian or villainy affiliation. It will not make you immortal. 1,000 deaths await in the skies. Do I have that facet? The bell tolls? I must, right? Let's take a look. Where would it be? Can I navigate through these? Yes, I can. Kind of. Bell tolls, looking for the bell tolls, for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for me. Here it is. Um, so this gives me, well, I mean, that what would that net me? An affiliation, which is good. This gives me veils and mirrors. And where am I on my breakpoints? So veils, oh, veils I'm at 68. And mirrors, I'm at 72, so mirrors is fine. If I were to, this increases mirrors and either hearts or veils. So I'm just switching, I can do mirrors and veils and just switch the primary and still have veils over 65. Let's do this because it also increases one of those affiliations, and affiliations are nice to have. Acquired a new facet, a jar with your death in it. You've lost 2 veils, you've gained 2 mirrors. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And 1 affiliation with villainy. Very nice. Okay, anyway. Prove your value to the heart catchers. Let's do it. What do I need to do? In an egg under a mountain on an island behind the wind, the green-fingered old warhorse hands you a box containing 3 carefully packed clay jars. Each jar contains a death. Petitioners pay very well for us to capture a death that they fear or have had foretold, and ensure that it won't trouble them. Unfortunately, deaths are clever little blighters, always slipping free and cropping up where least expected. The best we can do once we've caught them is to hide them as inconveniently as possible. Take these and find hiding places for them during your travels, and hide each in a different way. Leave no pattern, leave no trail. Look for ways to dispose safely of the deaths while you're traveling the sky. Return when all 3 are disposed of. Could you give me, like, something to go on? What the hell? Okay. I guess not. Alright. Welp. Okay. Now, what was it that I needed to launch an expedition? Or to lure something out from the glass? Let me check. Alright, I looked it up. It's souls. Jumble of undistinguished souls. I'll bring 2 in case I need to. And then it's a mirrors check for the other one. So I want my mirrors to be as high as possible without losing access to anything else. So the only thing I can realistically lose here is iron, I believe. Yeah, 'cause my veils and my hearts are barely above 65. Now, that being said, do I need my iron to be above 45? Um, where does this even say? No. Veils at 25, mirrors at 45, mirrors at 65, mirrors at 45. That's hearts. Hearts, veils, iron at 45. Yeah, okay, so we do need our iron to be above 45. So we can, let's see how we do this. It's at 54 currently. We should be fine. We just can't subtract 10 from it. I think we have a number of, I don't know if I can actually make a change here. Wait, my veils, does my veils need to be at 65 or just 45? Let's go through the list again, you guys, because 25, because my memory is that of a goldfish. Oh, veils just needs to be 45, so we can switch out the Defiant Devil for the book. Yeah. Right. Cool. Alright, so I will see you at the wreck of the Behringer. Oh, we're zooming! We're coming up on it, though. Ah! Stop. Ow. We made it! Board the Behringer. Okay, I want the mask of the Scintillant. The Scintillant learns through experimentation, so make your way to the laboratories. I don't want to do any of these things. Take part in an experiment as a guinea pig? Sure, dude. Hey, it worked. Look at that. Look at that. And the founder likes me more now. Cool. Here. Here, drink this. It's perfectly safe. A Sunless presses a fizzing tube into your hands, then immediately runs for cover. You examine the liquid. The smell alone could strip the skin from a cat. Nevertheless, you drink. How odd, says the Scintillant after a lengthy pause. I thought... Colors unfold from his open mouth like a kaleidoscopic chrysanthemum. For the next few days you wander in a labyrinth, or a landscape of spirals and fireworks. When you recover, you find yourself in bed, sweat-soaked, your ears still ringing. Wait, wasn't this where I... Eh? Wasn't it in the laboratories that I did that? Eh. Unstable founder, what's going on? Okay, well, let's talk to her some more. What's with the mark on your neck? For a moment, I could have sworn it was an eye nestled between neck and collarbone. Before we reached the wilderness, I was an admiral in London's fleet. While patrolling the Untersee, we came across something under the water. A scar or an eye or something. I dived to investigate. I still don't understand what happened down there, but I met something far greater than myself, and I came back with this. She brushes the eye on her neck with a fingertip. Years later in the wilderness, I took charge of London's greatest dreadnought, still in early experimental stages. That's when the eye opened. At that moment I knew, deep in my bones, that I had to seek out Eleutheria. Interesting. So the being there beneath the sea on Earth has some connection to something here in Eleutheria. Very interesting. I can't ask her what she's not telling me. I need one more estimation from her. Let's switch to the Mask of the Recalcitrant. So I thought that yeah, I thought it was in the labs that I could do that adventure in there. I'm just gonna take place in an easy debate, one that gives me the highest chance of success. Yeah. Okay, so oh, this may have offered or may have increased the founder's estimation of me, but I've already done that, so maybe it didn't. What happens here in the forum? No. Let's try to talk to the founder again. Aha. Well, no, yeah, how do you recognize everyone despite their masks? I've already done this. Oh, that worked. Okay. What are you not telling me? The founder beckons. You follow her to the Behringer's charred engine room. Freezing winds swirl through the crack in the hull. After I stole this dreadnought from the Empire, I went to the Halved to pledge my allegiance. She pauses. Oh, so the Halved is... Huh. But the Halved would not accept me. I was devastated. I turned the Behringer into a hub of discussion, hoping that one day we would come to a consensus that could guide me. This is no wreck. She rubs at the charred boiler with a gloved finger, smudging black dust away to reveal gleaming iron beneath. That's all illusion. The hull can be fixed in a day. The rust was applied by paintbrush. The Behringer is ready for war, as soon as I decide war is more important than debate. Holy shit. Got a lot of stuff from that. So, okay. Cool. Let's swap stories, I guess. Okay, that's good. Reduces terror. Gives me Sky Stories and Salons to Gossip. So I don't think that's actually going to go anywhere. Like, again, there's not really a mechanism for it um, in the game, but it's still cool. Okay, so I looked it up. I messed up. I have to go to the lab, but try to conduct my own experiment rather than one of the ones that they have available. So I'll have to do that next time. Let's see. Do we want to wrap this up here, or do we want to try to do one more thing? That's probably a good place to wrap it up. So, got a lot accomplished, I feel like. And we're mostly main quest stuff. So, in terms of the main quest, we need to find 3 places to bury a death with absolutely no information to go on. But I'm sure it won't be that hard. I'd even be surprised if I couldn't do it right here in Eleutheria. So that'll be, yeah. I'll probably start the next session when I find one of those places. And then in terms of quest lines here, we've got more to do in basically every port here. We still need to find Lord Langley in Langley Hall. We need to become fully initiated into the rites of the rose thing here. We've done it. We've done like 2 rituals. I think we need to do at least one more. Um, did we need to talk to the dude, Mr. whatever his face is, Barleycorn, or did we already do that? I forget. Maybe. Uh, I believe we haven't ventured into Pyrenesi at all because it's like beware if you venture into Pyrenesi you might get fucked up. So I was a little wary about that. And then Ashlis, we've I think we've done the main thing, which was discover like the secret of the Midnight Rose. I think that's what it's called. But there's a little bit of exploring up there left to do. So yeah, we're gonna be in Eleutheria for a little bit longer yet because there's still interesting stuff to do here. So look forward to that next time.